I am constantly stunned at the madness, the ignorance, the divisive propaganda that is uttered out the mouths of some of our people when it's coming from other people that hate you, but you gonna spit out their madness and their propaganda. I have to share this. Any African-American Christian in the Americas, excuse me, I should say any African Christian in the Americas, if you tend to think that your Christianity is tied to just some European Christian values, you are absolutely out your mind. You don't even understand your origins, your foundation, your understanding of Christianity is tied to some non-Christian traditions of African people. Last week I did an interview, a documentary regarding Voodoo, and talked about how you have the Malês, you have traditional believers, and the Papists or Papists are the Ansaars. Ansaars, Papists or Papists, another name for African Christians, or Christians, excuse me. But we're talking about African Christians. Then you have the Malês, they're African Muslims. Then traditional believers, those who might say Nyame and Kulu Kulu, those are the names they call God. For any African American Christian to think that Africans did not know about God in Africa, you are stupid. I gotta say, you are stupid. You've been trained by stupid people and who are giving you lies, and you spit that out. Hating yourselves. Hating that your ancestors knew about God in Africa. Any of you that think that Africans knew nothing about God, that they believed in trees and other stuff like that, you better get it together, because you again listening to some other people. Paganism, heathenism, all the animist stuff. You better break down the science. And don't go to somebody just because they're from Africa, because guess what? The same dog that bit them bit y'all too. So guess what? All you get this bad information, then you go spit out this incorrect information. Like Africans ain't know nothing about Jesus. Where the hell you think Jesus was? Northeastern Africa, where the hell do you think he was? What do you think about when you think about Abraham, you think about Hagar, you think about Moses, you think about these people right here? They're on the continent of Africa, Northeastern Africa. Y'all call it the Middle East today. But you think that my people don't know anything about Christianity or know anything about God. The second oldest or the oldest Christian nation in the world is in Africa. My God. But Gongo people that are brought here, some of them were Catholics, because they show you the lies that they told they brought you here because you knew nothing about God. They were Catholics in Africa. And yes, some Christians or Protestants don't know that Catholics are also Christians. Now, you understand why I said stupidity? Then the worst part comes down to when you want to go and attack traditional believers, like something's wrong with them. You are here because of them. Traditional believers survived the Maafa. They survived the great disaster. For you to be here right now to say you can even practice your Christianity. You don't even understand that. That person who believes in Nyame, that is still the name for God because that's their language. They don't speak English as their predominant language. They spoke Twi, Ewe, Vai. So they're going to have their own language for the name of God. And then you go to these people who want to attack African-American Muslims. Like something's wrong with them. Fool, you don't even understand that it was Muslims that survived the disaster also for you to stand here right now. Because some of your ancestors did not go and say Jesus like that. They say Isa, Yesu. They say Allah. So when you all are being disrespectful in your churches, on your telecasts and radio shows, disrespecting African-American Muslims, you are absolutely wrong. You are the heathens. You are the munafiquns. You are the hypocrites. Yeah. That's incorrect, because you wouldn't be able to practice and talk and sing the name Jesus if it wasn't for them surviving. Because some of your practices are tied right to them African Muslims and traditional believers. Don't lie anymore about First African Baptist Church having Hebrew and Ethiopic on the side of the pews. That's Arabic on the sides of the pews, so stop that. Those folks came from schools in Africa where they had 30,000 schools in one part, 10,000 schools in another part writing in Arabic. So see how you're disrespectful to your ancestors? Absolutely disrespectful. And then some of y'all want to talk about y'all know God. Y'all don't know God. You know that the house of God has many doors. But you around here trying to bash people who made it possible for you to be here. When you sing your gospel music, don't you know that comes from the shout songs? A part of the origins of the shout songs is the reason why you have gospel music. The spirituals, you know that came from African Muslims who could do everything except go make Hajj to Mecca. You don't even realize that. So that gave rise to all the stuff that you know with regards to your musical form. Don't you realize that some of your people decided to be buried facing the east because African Muslims? Don't you realize that? Don't you realize that when you see Tenk Gawd, but Congo cosmograms in Central America, South America, the Caribbean, don't you know that's tied to the Congo people? You have the Puno people, the airway people, people who understand about God. Because guess what? We're the first ones on this planet to come and acknowledge that there's a God. But guess what? You got black folks around here bashing African-American Muslims, bashing traditional believers. And they say they're Christians, not even understanding their origins to what some of them do. And excuse me, I can throw this out. Ladies, sisters, when you wearing a hat in church, you don't even realize the origins of that right there. No matter how some Western people try to tell you, some Europeans try to tell you, some Caucasians try to tell you something different, and those who've been trained by them tell you something different. It's tied to, because again, we always understood the most important thing is this dome right here, and you protect your dome when you go before the Most High, or even in the world. That's supposed to apply to men too, but see, men don't see, because you let somebody else tell you that man should not wear hats inside a building, not even understand it. Yes, you do, because he's protecting this dome right here. You wear the hat in the building and outside the building to protect the dome. But guess what? The stupidity that comes right now, I know them domes have not been protected. That hatred that comes right now, the divisive propaganda that you spit out your mouths, you don't even understand. We know God better than you know God.